Hey y'all, I'm Heather and welcome to my channel, The Debt Free Quilter. Today we are going to assemble our full blocks. Yay! So this one came together really fast. So let's get started, shall we? First, as always, let's lay out these blocks. That way we can just assembly line sew everything. Plus, doing it this way, y'all get to see all the beautiful colors that are going into this quilt. Alright, as I've said before, this block at this point goes together exactly like any other 9-patch. So, have fun! When you're batch sewing or chain piecing, it is absolutely vital that you keep everything in order. And this definitely helps you do it. Because if you get something out of order, you have to spend time searching for the right piece to go with that block, and it makes it hard. So doing your best to keep everything in order is crucial. Here we go with the pressing. As you can see, I am pressing toward that center unit, and I am flipping everything upside down, as in seam side up, when I'm done pressing it. That way, everything stays in the right order. You see the mistake that I made there? I hadn't had my stack flipped the right way. Also, with that second stack, I made sure I pressed to the outside piece as opposed to the yellow. That way, it reduces so much bulk. And we're back to sewing again. Let's get these last pieces on. All right, here we go again. You see me pressing towards the center for this row, and then flipping it upside down and laying it seam side up so I don't get confused on where things go and everything stays in order. I will do the same with the rest. And for the center row, once again, I'm pressing to the outside unit to avoid bulk, and I can nest my seams. Now, do you see what I see? That little extra bit there in the center? We're gonna chop that off. All right, for this one, you want to line up your ruler with the shortest, most interior part of that entire unit. And in this case, everything was pretty straight except that one piece. So I just trimmed it off to avoid bulk in the overall quilt. Now it's nice and straight, and now we can move on and do the same to the rest of these units because they all need a little work. And even while doing this, some you take off a little more than others, but we get it all right. And I'm flipping everything upside down once again, keep everything in the order it needs to be in so nobody gets confused. And we get through it. Yay! We got everything trimmed, everything's nice and straight, and now we are putting it all together and getting prepared to press it and trim it all down to the same size. So, here we go. Okay, in this pressing, I am pressing everything down toward that center. It just seems to be the way my fabric wants to go. Now let's add the rest of our block. Okay, once again, I am just pressing these down towards the bottom of the block. It just seems to be how my fabric wants to lay. If you feel like you should press it back up toward the center, that is perfectly fine too. You do you. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware, not all blocks come out evenly. It happens. It's just a perk of quilting. So, we measure several, we figure out what size is going to work best, and we just trim them all down to that size. That is what I'm doing here. All right, y'all, there we have it. Our blocks are finished, and they should all measure about 10.5 inches unfinished and be ready for sashing and cornerstones. That will be our next video, along with laying out both the quilts, because like I said, you would not see drop diamonds again until layout. So we can look forward to that. And I've been thinking a little bit. I told you my blocks came out smaller. They always come out smaller. I don't know why, they just do. But that just goes to show that nothing in life is perfect. Nothing. Not flowers, not people. not critters, not minions. Nothing in this life is perfect, and that's perfectly okay. For anyone who needs to hear that today, yeah, it's okay to not be perfect. For you quilters out there, it's okay to not have perfect blocks. It's okay for things to be off a little bit, because nothing is perfect. It doesn't exist. It's some ideal that everybody strives for, but it doesn't exist. Not really. The most important thing is do the best you can with what you have in the time you have. So, I will leave you with that thought. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.